Yeah.
Hey, Bree Bree.
Hey, Sandra. Hey.
Uh,
You gotta go to the
oh.
side. That's how you know you really trying to hit that note. Hey.
How you feeling today?
I feel fabulous.
It's wonderful. I'm happy for you. I'm
How
so
you
happy.
feeling, girl?
Um, dreadful.
Oh, wow.
Dreadful. I don't
Dreadful.
know.
What's
I
that?
I
What's
think
that on the wheel?
I don't know, but it's dreadful. I feel dreadful. No, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Like you said, a couple weeks ago, we talked about it's testing season,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Amen.
feel like I'm in that season. And I'm of being tested, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking God to show up for me, please, because I need Him
And he will.
every day.
Because I need you to survive.
Oh, yeah.
I won't harm you. Okay, sorry.
With words from my mouth. Woo.
I love you.
How people will respond if I just broke out in songs like that? Like,
I do it all the time. And the response that I receive is, how do you think of these things off your brain? And it's not necessarily something that I try. It's just something that's just automatic for me. You give me a word and I'm like, that's a song.
I mean, like in the midst of a conflict.
Oh, like at work?
Oh,
Yikes. Trying to have a serious conversation. And you're talking about, I need you to survive. Like, what? Like, yeah, Dr. Cassandra, long. You haven't really been performing the way that you needed to, and just feel like, in order to do great at this job, like, and just like, I need you. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're doing everything but being for real. You can't do that.
I wish I could, because
You can do that with like friends when they're having a really hard day, but you have to be careful with that too, because you don't want them to feel like, I got something to say.
well, that's true. That's true. Okay, I'll take that into consideration. But it's testing season. I'm just asking God to help me.
Amen.
Okay, so you want to do the theme song?
Oh,
Okay.
welcome. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome. Too loud. Welcome back. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Welcome back. The girl, she did that. Welcome back.
Yes, yes. I love
Yes.
it. I love it.
Yes.
All right, so what you drinking today?
Oh, pick it back up. Y'all know I always come with my glass of Cabernet. So.
Oh God. Okay. It must be real good because you've been drinking on this for quite some time.
All right, not too much.
Okay, sorry. My bad. I didn't mean to put your business out in the streets.
Thank
like
you.
That.
Okay.
Sorry.
What you drinking? How about that?
Blueberry Stella Rosa. It's pretty good. Oh, I forgot. Let me put it in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, your cup's a
Clean.
little dark. We don't know. We don't know what's in there. There could be some cognac.
No, it's Monday. I mean, or Sunday, or Friday, or Thursday. It's whatever day we want it to be today.
Whatever day.
It's whatever day we want it to be.
Who are we honoring today, Sandy?
Well, according to you, we're gonna honor Simone Biles.
Yeah. Okay.
So why are we honoring her? Okay. All right. I see.
Okay.
Go ahead. Get your gold medal. Okay, go ahead.
We are honoring Simone because she has set a new bar for the Olympics. I watched her. She was absolutely magical. I mean, all the women were awesome, but Simone, she came through and did what she was supposed to do, and she got what she deserved. Congratulations for the gold medal.
Yes,
Very, very proud of you.
We are so proud of you. You make us very proud.
Yeah.
So keep going out here and living, girl. Living.
Got me a little nervous when her leg had to wrap it up. I was like, oh, Come on now, girl. Spread that thing out. Spread that thing out.
No,
But
the
she got
Olympics was
together.
pretty good this year, though. I have to say
Mm-hmm.
they had a lot of people of color. I was really happy about that.
Very.
Just showing out and showing up, so that was awesome. I was really happy
Mm-hmm.
to see that.
Mm-hmm.
See people perform, their best. So that was awesome.
For sure.
So, Bree, what are we talking about today?
Okay. So today we are going to talk about something that a post that Cassandra sent me from Instagram, basically talking about marriage, co-parenting, um, dealing with past relationships, all encompassed in one. So I'm going to read the story.
Oh, story time. Okay, come on. We ready for it.
Okay. So the husband's baby mother threw a birthday party for their 10-year-old daughter. The baby mother told the husband that the current wife was not invited.
Mm.
So her husband didn't go. Now, her husband's family, and they had to emphasize this, we'll address that as well. It says mostly unmarried women are bashing him for his decision to stand with me, and they are accusing him of being a bad father.
Mm.
His own mother said that I should have been understanding the wife
Mm.
and not become upset if he had gone to the birthday party without her.
Mm.
She also expressed that her and the baby mother don't have any bad blood. They have never been disrespectful to one another and have not had any arguments or any disputes. But the baby mother told the husband that she wasn't welcome because she had an attitude.
Mm. Mm.
By the way, his daughter, her husband, daughter loves her and has known to be very kind and direct. Is her husband right for standing with her, or should he have left behind to attend his daughter's party to satisfy the family he came from?
Juicy.
Juicy. Yeah.
Oh, this is a loaded. Let's load it. That's loaded.
For sure. So I think that we should break it down. You know what I'm saying? We
Okay,
gotta.
so where you want to
Mhm.
start?
So I think first breaking it down, just addressing that, okay, they didn't have any bad blood, but she expressed to the husband that she had an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there's some missing pieces, and this is one thing I just don't like about like one-sided situations,
Mm-hmm.
is that like sometimes people don't paint a full picture,
True.
because I think that attitude is definitely possibly could be a issue or problem to, it could be the missing piece to get
Mm-hmm.
her a better understanding of why she was not invited anymore. And I just feel like if they had a good relationship and they have been doing well with co-parenting, then how did we get to a place of not inviting you to the
The
birthday
birthday
party?
party.
And she's
Mm-hmm.
also what is it, 9 years old? I don't know how long they've been married, but you know, the kid is pretty like, I would say grown, but old enough to express herself
Right.
and, express to her mom, like, whether she likes her or not. And she's also old enough for her mom to have a conversation with her about what's going on, as far as like dad is now moved on to another, relationship and marriage. Like
Mm-hmm.
breaking that down, like what's going on. So, she's not really left out of the loop.
Right.
But I just feel like it's not like a younger kid where it's like, a lot of parent control. This is like more so of like, okay, the daughter is like old enough to know what's going on. So I just feel like what's the confusion with all of them? I guess that's the thing that I'm just a little bit curious about. But as a woman, you who co-parents, like, I really want to hear more about what you think. Um,
Me? Me?
yes,
A
because
little
I mean, you are currently married, and you have two bonus or stepsons, and your husband was in a previous marriage. So
homie.
just talking about like that co-parenting situation, like what would you have done if your husband, well, if his ex-wife was like, Dr. Cassandra can't come to the birthday party.
Well, she ain't gonna never say that. Not a doctor anyway. But but first I want to say that you never know what you're gonna do in these sort of situations until you actually in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And although our co-parenting situation is still, it's not fresh, but it's still fresh enough where I think we're all still learning how to kind of navigate this. But for the most part, I will say that we all do a very good job with keeping those emotions out now. Before, it was a lot of emotions happening, but if my husband was in that situation, certainly I would have encouraged him to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, his children are going to always come first,
Mm-hmm.
right? I know some people was kind of talking about how, what the Bible say and what Christians do and all that, but now that I'm actually in this situation, I definitely would encourage him to go because they gonna remember him not
Mm-hmm.
showing up forever, right? And then you gonna be the one that's being blamed if you don't go, right? But at the end of the day, he makes that decision if he
Mm-hmm.
chooses not to go, obviously. But I would have chose what's right, and what's right is was the best for the child, for them to have those memories. And then we would have just threw our own party
Mm-hmm.
if that was, where it was. Um, I can't say we've had joint birthday parties, and some people think that's weird, but at the end of the day, I married someone who had children who also had an ex-wife, right? And so they all kind of a part of this package. And so it's kind of how am I going to deal with this? Am I going to be like, well, I don't want to be bothered with that. I don't want to be bothered with her. Or am I going to be an adult and be grown and say, okay, let's sit down and have a conversation about what is the expectations of, bonus parenthood? Because that definitely needs to be had, right? And it sounds like the situation is one sided because the wife is telling the husband or the ex wife or whoever she is, she has an attitude, but that hasn't been communicated to her.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what the attitude is about. And it could be that the baby mother is embarrassed, by him having a partner, and maybe she don't have somebody. You never know what the reasons are. They just give some sort of reason
Mm-hmm.
behind it. But um if they didn't have any beef, then she would have been at the birthday party. That's kind of how I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Um or, you know, her I would have gave the lady a call. Like, let's talk about this. Let's figure out kind of what's going on, why you feel that way, what we all can do to make this process easier for everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an awkward situation regardless of how it goes. Because when one parent decides to bring somebody else into their life, of course there's going to be feelings about that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's how you move through that. I will say that early on in our relationship, I was completely against having a discussion. I don't want to talk. You deal with that. That's not
Mm-hmm.
mine. You deal with that. But somebody very wise in my life told me, you need to be a grown woman and you need to have a conversation if you are planning on marrying this man, you know. And I wish I would have took that advice sooner than later, but I certainly did sit down with my bonus kid's mother before we got married and had a very in-depth conversation about what expectations look like, right? Um, And even now, we still, communicate, not every day or not often, but enough where there is some form of relationship. And if something happens with the kids, we can have a conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that we gonna always agree on every topic, because obviously we don't, and that's okay. It's okay to agree or disagree, but as long as everybody's thoughts and feelings is out there, it's no harm in that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that husband, I get he wanted to stand with his wife, but at the end of the day, that kid is gonna remember him not being there, and I think
Well,
that's a core memory that you can't get back.
but I also feel like, I don't know, like I think that, like, because we don't know what the attitude was about, or
Mm-hmm.
like, I just feel like things aren't adding up. Like the fact that he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick my wife over my child," or like there wasn't a conversation of somebody picking up the phone and being like, "Hey, I don't think it's that deep. Like, can we at least have this conversation after the party?" Or something like that. Like, I just feel like something else was going on. I feel like a chunk is being left
Left
out
out. Yeah.
to be seen as an innocent person, like an innocent bypass person. Like, oh yeah, like this happened to me. Like, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have anything. I didn't do anything. My hands are clean.
Mm-hmm.
But two things could be true, is that like there could be a portion or a part where, it wasn't your fault, but
Right.
take ownership of what was your fault.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like the baby mama might have said a lot of things on the phone that we aren't privy to because we don't get her side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And they just summed it up as attitude,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
basically made it seem like it was something small for her to get a attitude to the point where she's just like, yeah, like she's not invited. And then for him to take it a step further, be like, well, I'm not coming either. And it's like, that's that's not the, and I know that we bring up the Bible, but like that's not the time or the place to do
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's just not the time and place to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick my wife regardless. When this situation not even like a part of the, like, in the Bible it says to be with like the kids that you, if we are talking about the Bible, you should still be
Right.
with the baby mama
Right.
and married
Right.
to the baby mama. Like
Right.
this new wife shouldn't even exist.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if we're going to stick to the Bible, so it's like, like you said, like they will remember that he was absent. They're not going to care about the argument or disagreement that they had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're not going to really care about
I think
that.
it also creates a dynamic between the child and the bonus parent too.
Yeah.
Right. And that's hard navigating in itself. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially, I have sons, so they're a little more easier to kind of
Mm-hmm.
navigate. I feel like girls is completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because we like, nah, I don't like her. I don't want to talk to her. I ain't going near her. Don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. For sure.
boys
Yeah.
is a little more, they could be a little bit standoffish, but once they love you, they love you. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no going back on that. And I wish that the father and the husband in that situation would have really set the kid down and had some sort of conversation with them prior to this birthday party. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because so at least so they can have a full understanding of why I'm choosing not to come.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they may not. All they could think is, well, daddy just not here, and that
Mm-hmm.
lady just don't want him to come.
Mm-hmm.
you know when
Mm-hmm.
when really, and I obviously, as a bonus parent and a parent, you don't want to talk bad about the other parent either. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know if that has happened. Right. We don't know if the kid that went back to the mother and said something, you know what I mean, and you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why she's like, well, the lady, she just can't come because she got an attitude. But I do wonder what the attitude, what you think she had an attitude about. Let's just speculate just for a minute.
Maybe she wanted, you know, maybe she wanted to do the party her way, type of thing.
Maybe she wanted money for the party.
Maybe she wanted money for the party. And they were like, we already pay you child support. Mm-hmm. Pull that card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, those are not for extracurricular activities.
Mm-hmm.
Those are for
Mm-hmm.
day-to-day expenses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
baby, like the parties and stuff like that is not included.
Not
Okay,
not included. No.
that's not
Uh-huh.
included. Let's talk
Uh-huh.
about what's not included: taxes. And so that's the birthday part. The birthday part is taxes. So you have to add that up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It probably was something that was like stupid. Like it was probably was something that was just not worth going back and forth to the extent of like, oh, she's not invited. Like I just really feel like you said, co-parenting is for the grown, and
The
you know,
grown.
yeah, like you're gonna have to put your ego and pride to the side
Mm-hmm.
and really do what's best for the child, but also do what's best for y'all's adult relationship.
Sure.
Like it's unfortunate that whatever reason that they broke up, he clearly has moved on. Like he's
Right.
married someone else. So it's unfair to not take the time to truly cultivate a real relationship so
Mm-hmm.
that this co-parenting relationship could be smoother.
I was actually out. I agree with all of that. I was also thinking, why are they taking advice from people who are unmarried? That's another thing, right? And
Yeah, we
involving
definitely, yeah.
involving, family in your marriage. Like
Correct.
I learned way before even this relationship, like family, you don't involve them in none of that because
Mm-hmm.
y'all being moved on, we be all good, and they still mad.
Mm-hmm.
They keeping record, keeping tally, and okay, I get it, but at the end of the day, that's their marriage,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how they choose to move in their marriage, that's how they choose to move.
Mm-hmm.
Right or wrong, that's the choice that they made together as a couple,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I always tell alignment about our couple score. I want our score to stay at 10. I don't want it. We go anything past 5, we not doing very good. So what work do we need to do to get back to 10? So
Wait,
we are
what?
making this couple score. Yeah.
You ain't
Mm-hmm.
talking about no damn couple
I ain't
score.
saying, yeah.
No.
All the time. If I feel like we going, ooh, I be like, our score is going down. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this
So it's
because
it's from 1 to 10,
1 to 10,
but we not going below 5.
we not going below 5 because 5 you in the danger. Below 5 you in the danger zone.
So what's 5?
5 is y'all struggling a little bit. Y'all need to figure this out so you can get back to a
But what's
10.
considered like have y'all like made it plain? Like what's considered struggling a little bit?
Struggling is if we not talking to each other because we
So we got solid like we coming home from work, we not talking to each
we
other.
not saying nothing. It
Mm.
ain't no conversation. It's us being maybe snappy to each other about something. If you ask what you want to eat for dinner tonight, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not having love check-ins because we do that
Mm-hmm.
often, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
not sticking to our date nights for the month or whatever it is. When we start to like kind of put each other to the wayside and other things are taking priority,
Mm-hmm.
then that's where we need to like, okay, let's sit down and talk about where we need to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
What goals are we hoping to achieve this month, next month, whatever, in the next 5 years, and just keeping each other accountable. Really,
Mm-hmm.
that's what the whole point of the score is to keep each other accountable. um and sometimes you have to call marriage on some things, like, okay, I'm calling marriage on this one. I need you to show up for this, that, and the third.
So
you
what does
know
that mean calling marriage?
Saying, I'm making this a priority today. Like, I need you to show
Mm-hmm.
up for this, either it's an event or conversation or whatever it is. I'm calling marriage. I need you to show up for it.
Mm.
I need you to make this a priority, right?
Write
Because
that.
like I said,
Yeah, I'll write that down.
like, not write it down, but like I said, being married to somebody who has children, you're not always the priority,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, but you got to be okay with that,
Mm-hmm.
especially if the children are, young, and it's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
back and forth. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to be okay with not being a priority. Although I know I'm a priority in his life, but I'm not gonna always be a priority in his daily life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that's why it's important that, hey, we check in and say, hey, we need to make sure we do our date this month. We need to make sure, we sit down, we go over our calendars. We talk about, finances. We talk about volunteering opportunities that we want to add to the calendar. Like, we got to be able to prioritize us.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's just going to be this complacency. Right. And I think that's where a lot of people become miserable in marriage because they get complacent, right? You start doing the same
Mm-hmm.
things. People, other things second priority, kids second priority, but what about y'all?
Mm-hmm.
And so I do, and I will say that he does a very good job of saying, okay, we're going to have date night this weekend. We going to do date night on this day or whatever, just something to look forward to. Because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, we just going to just keep missing each other like we roommates.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need no roommate. You my man. I'm like, well, you my
Right.
husband. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel like we're in a partnership because that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's also, I think also depending on your partner, you know, Lyman is very easy to get along with. He's not difficult at all. And so it makes co-parenting with him very easy, to make decisions. Or, he'll ask me, and sometimes I'll be like, well, why are you asking me that? You know what I'm saying? But that's his way of trying to include me in the discussion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which I appreciate him doing that, because often I'll be like, well, why he asking me? I don't know why he asking me that, but
Right.
that's his way of saying, we are I want to make a decision together, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
had to reframe my mind and my thoughts around that too, and it took some time, and it still
Mm-hmm.
takes some time, but for the most part, I think I'm doing better at becoming more comfortable with being a bonus parent,
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't always comfortable in that role, and just learning that parenting doesn't come with a book for anybody, and
Mm-hmm.
so we are just kind of figuring this out, kind of, as we go, because we had a situation maybe about a month and a half ago where we all had to like come together to have a like a come to Jesus meeting with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awkward. I mean, awkward because of the topic, but me and their mother just kind of just took lead on it. Like, okay, we need to have this conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we figured it out. It was
Mm-hmm.
weird, but and I think for my husband, he definitely felt weird. And I'm like, we just got to do this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you in it, she in it, I'm in it. We in this thing. So at least it's not just one person having to have this difficult conversation. At least it's three of us trying to pull all of our
Mm-hmm.
strengths together to have this conversation.
Yeah,
Because it could be worse.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So that daddy should have win. You should have win, daddy. You should have
Yeah, he definitely should have, for sure. But
win.
yeah, I definitely agree with you. I don't be giving married people no advice. I'd be like,
I know you don't.
yeah. You be like, yeah, we're no, it's giving somebody who is actually practicing in therapy. Um,
I would really encourage that wife though to really get around some wise, seasoned women
mm-hmm.
who've been down this road before to get some
Mm-hmm.
like wise counsel, because that's what I had to do. Like, and at first when she kept saying it, and I'm like, no, I'm not open to that,
Mm-hmm.
But once I understood, I'm like, okay, she was right. I gotta do this. I just gotta figure this out, because this is about to be a lifetime. If I'm saying I'm about to spend my life with this person,
Mm-hmm.
these kids and their mother not going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
Right? Because at some point we gonna be sharing grandkids together. You know what I mean? It's gonna be all different types of major life events. So why
Yeah, I
make
mean, they're
it?
gonna end up going to prom. They're gonna end up
Yeah,
high school, college. Birthdays. Birthdays are gonna come.
birthdays.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whatever the case may be. Like, you're absolutely right. Like, this is the reality, and you have to have realistic expectations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When it comes to, like, and be reasonable. When it comes to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's an unfortunate situation, but I mean, I think we're both in agreement that he should have still went. And that's the thing too, is that like we don't truly know how the wife is. If
Right.
he were to have gone to the birthday party, is the consequence bigger for him? I wouldn't necessarily say bigger. Is it more immediate that he's going to end up facing his wife versus his 9-year-old daughter going to say something when she's 21, being like, "I remember when you wasn't there for my 9th birthday." You know
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
Giving counseling, family therapy,
Right.
something later on she would
I
say.
mean, the wife was gonna. She would have been mad. Like, you know what? You go ahead.
Exactly.
You
So he
already
was going to have
know.
to deal with that
Anyway,
tonight.
exactly.
Versus
Exactly.
she was going to feel some type of way about that maybe years from now if she would have expressed it. If she didn't express it that day, she would have expressed it down the road, possibly. So, yeah.
But don't worry, she's still gonna have feelings about it. She still, because she gonna still have feelings about it. It's still gonna be some more conversations in there, because this is a topic that you're gonna have more than one conversation about.
I think people need to know that too.
Yeah, and it's gonna create a dynamic now between the bonus daughter and her, and the mother and the bonus daughter. It's gonna create so many different dynamics, and that man is gonna have to navigate through all of that. Right? You chose this life. Right?
Yeah, you're the common denominator.
Right. You chose to have a child with someone. Okay, cool. You chose to marry this person. Now you gotta figure out how you gonna navigate this situation.
For sure.
You gotta navigate that. So you figure it out. I'm gonna say something else. Figure it out.
Please don't. Please don't. It's giving off camera.
Figure it out.
Well, that was a good topic.
That was.
We're gonna have to el rapidoso.
That is not Spanish.
If you wrote
no, stop.
It's Spanish.
Stop.
Rapidoso. That's Spanish for wrap it up.
This girl. Excuse her, y'all. Excuse her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So as always, remember we are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of your podcasts that you listen to, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, all of them. So as always,
subscribe on YouTube. We gotta subscribe.
YouTube.
We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers.
Tell a friend to tune in to our YouTube. That's where you can actually see us versus just hearing us on just the regular podcast. But yeah, we are people in real time, so you'll physically be able to see us on YouTube. But yeah,
people in real time. Okay, yeah, we real people in real time.
Yeah, but like sometimes people have a podcast. I'm not doing it.
Okay, all right.
Because everybody don't have a YouTube channel with their podcast, but we do.
Okay, you're right. So, okay, all right.
Not too much. Anyways, until next time.
Till next time. Bye.
And click.